Hello, everybody. I am so excited to finally have one of our full stack developer engineers on our team sit down, chat with me, and talk to us a little bit about our newest feature. So, welcome, Lindsay. Thanks for
Hey.
joining. This is one of my favorite launches that we've done personally because I just think it's going to be such a game changer for event organizers. And we're talking about the new event organizer analytics dashboard. So I didn't build it at all, but Lindsay did. And so we thought it would be great for you guys to hear directly from the source why Lindsay worked on the event analytics dashboard the way that she did. So Lindsay, I have three questions for you that I think are going to give more insight to event organizers on like why you did what you did and how it's going to be helpful for them. So we're going to dive right into this with our first question. Can you tell me what problem were you and the team trying to solve for event organizers when you started building this dashboard?
Absolutely. So we really wanted to have event organizers stop guessing and instead of handing over a boring list of numbers, we wanted to put it in a fun visual way so that they can see and understand attendees' behaviors. And so we introduced what weekday drove the highest registration. And I also tried to think like an event organizer and put in controls that I would think is good for them. So there's different controls like total counts, percentages, and time ranges. And so the dashboard is really designed to just take scattered data and turn it into instant insight so that event organizers can move faster and be more accurate without guessing.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think you nailed the pin on the head. I don't know what that saying is, but I think you nailed it. Because really, like when you look at our dashboard, it's not just a bunch of like the numbers. Like you can actually make sense of it without having to do your own calculations, which I think is like a huge step because oftentimes like you just get you export some data from a tool or something that you're using for your event and like you have to then do the math of like how this is helpful to you, but our dashboard just does that for you and it looks beautiful like you said, so that's great. So tell me, what kind of decisions do you think the dashboard will help organizers make during and after their events?
So during the event, it's going to stop a lot of the guessing and really lean into what's working. You can see which interests, instant match activities, and what time windows are really driving the most matches or general activity. And if the heat map clusters around a nearby spot, you can highlight that meetup area or schedule a quick pop-up there. And the timeline playback, you can see what spikes and lulls by the hour. And if you just want the big picture, you can also see a show all points button that shows the hottest areas overall. So after the event, you can get a clear understanding of what worked and what interests resonated and the engagement from the attendees. And you can see pre-event live and post-event connections compared. And that makes it a lot easier when you're picking content for your next event.
For sure. I also love talking about like Instamatch, for example, which if you're not familiar is like a limited list of activities that your attendees can like choose to do on the spot. So let's say they have like an hour long break in between sessions that they're going to, they can look like on MatchPoint who's online right now and say, hey, I want to get a coffee, I want to like do breakfast or something. So like if you get to see this data after the event, if you had like the highest amount of coffee matches, then maybe you can take that insight and use it for your next event when you're planning like have coffee at your event. I mean, most events have coffees at their event, but you can make it more of like a thing. Like MatchPoint just had a cafe, like networking lounge at an event that we were just at. So if attendees are going out for coffee, bring it inwards. So there's all these little like details that you can really take, like Lindsay was saying, like interest, engagement, different things like that, that can help you gauge what you should be doing for your next event. So it's not just like, oh, hey, these people connected. And like, of course, you want to know those things, but it's also like, how can I be proactive now with the data that I've been given and focus on our next event going forward? So, Lindsay, since this is your baby, what is the thing that you're most excited for event organizers to see when they're using this dashboard?
So after your last point, I have obviously the whole thing is my favorite, but now that I'm thinking about it, the top interests for personal and professional, I think that's extremely important for event organizers. If they see that a very good chunk, 75% loves golf, maybe that's something they should look into and put into somewhere in their event. My next favorite has to be the heat map. It took so long, and I think it's very interesting to see day by day overall. If you have a lot of attendees on the West Coast, maybe have your next event over there, something like that. There's also a timeline underneath the map where you can drag to the highest day, and it's just very interesting to see all the data right in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to say like yeah, I agree. I do think like the interests like really give a lot of insight, but the heat map is just so cool. Like
It
frankly,
is.
I've really never seen that in any other like tool that I've used. And I think it's like a really unique insight that you're not going to get anywhere, but it really does like help you think about the, where your next event is, or maybe doing like micro events because there's a lot of people there, or like sending out your promotion at specific times based on like what the highest engagement was. So I really agree with you. Like the heat map is really cool and unique. Awesome. Okay, well, Lindsay, those are the three questions I had for you. And I mean, on behalf of all event organizers out there, thank you for building this because I really think it's very much needed in the industry. And I think it's going to be a game changer for anyone who uses it. So I guess this is our little self promotion. Talk to us if you're interested in learning more about the event organizer experience on MatchPoint and specifically our new analytics dashboard. And Lindsay, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.